Ladies and gentlemen, today's guest is a multi-talented comedic force to be reckoned with. She's a co-host of many hilarious shows on the Last Podcast Network, including Who's the Bitch with Kara Klink, The GUD Pud with Henry Zebrowski, LPN Deep Dive, Crescent City with Natalie Jean, and of course the amazing Page 7 with Holden McNeely and MJ Neffel. Everyone, please welcome Jackie Zebrowski to the show. Jackie, welcome.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Yeah, it just, yes, I'm always talking. That's what your
Good.
intro is definitely explaining to everybody. Oh, is this bitch always talking? Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're always talking and making a career out of it. So I think anyone who's jealous is probably the one who's the bitch. Wink, wink. Trademark for that.
Whoa, thank you. Thank you. And I'm definitely that slime bitch right now because I love
Yeah.
being on camera when I need my slime time. I'm new to slime, the world of slime.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I remember I heard on the because anytime I have a guest on, I immerse myself in anything they do, and so I've been listening to a lot of back episodes. You got like a advent calendar of slime. Like I heard about
Oh
that. That
yeah.
sounded really cool.
Oh yeah. I've got multiple of my advent calendar slimes right here and they're all different
Sick.
scents.
Ooh, I like that.
I have too many slimes though. Now it's like how neurodivergent is she? She's slime neurodivergent.
That's how I am with fidget. I have like probably 50 fidget toys I barely use, and they're just sprinkled around the house like a fucking elf on the shelf, just watching me and judging me.
Just in case you might just need something to fidget with. There ain't
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
true. I can always just fidget with my glasses or just play with what little dirt I have on my face to look my age. Just I baby faced without this facial hair. My wife always makes fun of me. She's like, "You need to grow out your facial hair because you look like a
Oh.
teenager."
Isn't that nice though? Don't you want to get carded everywhere you go?
Oh yeah, I know I never have to take the substance because when I'm 50, I'm gonna look 30. So you know,
Man,
it's a stupid
so
men's world, and would stupid men get that? It's dumb.
they just get more attractive. It's not fair. No, I would take the substance in a heartbeat. Oh,
Yeah,
don't give me the number. I'm like, where? How do I get it? I don't give a shit. I did not learn any lessons from the substance. The only lesson I learned is that I would definitely do that and I would definitely never want to crawl back inside my body. And that thing would definitely happen to me.
oh, me too. I would look just the worst hunchback and saggy tits more than I already do.
Yeah, you're talking to the right Boyd. I tell you what, man. But if give me anything to look like Margaret Qualley or Demi Moore, this is the
Oh
thing.
yeah,
Is that like Demi Moore? It's like, can you imagine being Demi Moore, looking at your body, being like, this has to change? That's
yeah.
insane. I'm half her age and I've never looked that good.
What do
Or
you
half
like?
her age, maybe not half her
What
age.
you like? 25, 30?
I'm like 15.
I always assume because I look younger than I am, I assume people are younger. I'm almost 40 and I look 25. So I would assume you're 25, 30.
I really appreciate that. No, I'm 37 years old and
Nah.
man, and it's walking across my face. But I'm one of those, you could like squeegee all the creams out of this face though.
No, mine too.
I cream hard. Don't clip that.
No, honestly, that's the first
I mean,
thing.
you definitely can clip that. I've said
Clip
it and
it,
I mean
bumper
it.
sticker. Clip it and we'll make it a
Yes.
bumper sticker. And I'm just gonna just have your face like, like no.
This bitch creams.
No, speaking about bitches, I gotta tell you about Who's the Bitch podcast, which I'm sure you're very familiar with because you and Kara co-hosted. I love it. I'm all
Dude,
for it.
thank
I mean,
you.
you guys, I love a good dating advice show. Like I've always had so many terrible dates. I've always wanted to do that, but hearing people call in and like you guys' reaction to it, I fucking love it.
Dude, thank you so much. We really just love other people's gossip. I love talking about gossip.
Same.
It's like, come sit by me. I will talk about anything. Talk to me about your cousin's fucking coworker that has been clipping their nails and putting them in their coffee. You know what I mean? Like, I want to know about it.
I like it too because I always used to joke on stage that my trauma and everything in my life is like 4 Lifetime movies of the week, 2 seasons of Maury Povich, and maybe a TBS edited movie. But no, like it's nice to hear people have other fucked up shit. And I also love that you guys go on a tangent about Real Housewives of Salt Lake because I live in Utah and it's just insane to me how much you guys are fascinated with it.
God, I love it. I know I was telling you a little bit before the show about I just am so fascinated by all of Mormon culture. I love it's specifically Mormon reality shows, and I watch every second of any kind of Mormon reality, even if it's not a reality show, even if it's just like a weird docu-series on YouTube. If it exists, I have watched it. Especially if it's about polygamy, I have watched it and I love it.
I could I think that's too much responsibility to be a polygamist. That's I don't want that many people mad at me at once, nor that much responsibility.
No, I have lived an ethically non-monogamous life, which I understand is different, but I've lived an ethically non-monogamous life multiple times. I've been in multiple polycules and different kinds, and it ain't for me. But I am so impressed by the people who it works for. I'm just like, good for you, man, because it's communication, it's patience, it's work. Any relationship is work. But
True.
if you think that you can juggle multiple of them at the same time and live to tell the tale, awesome. Good for you, dude. Fucking take it down. Hell yeah.
No, I thought about when I was like, listening to all your stuff to refamiliarize and like get caught up on some of the it's hard to listen to podcasts these days. Thankfully I work at a job I can listen to them all day, so I'd get caught up on a couple. But
Hell yeah.
you guys are talking about Real Housewives at SLC. I'm like, maybe I should check it out, but I'm like, fuck no. I lived that life for 30 years. I can't do it.
Yeah, no.
I'll
No, if
probably
you're living it,
yeah, no.
no.
I
No, 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 no.
I'm surprised I didn't hear about people on there that I went to school with, which is funny. Here's some tea. Do you want some who's the bitch tea?
Yes.
One of my bullies in junior high is a reality TV show star or was.
But not on SLC?
No, he was on a show called Diesel Brothers. Do you remember that?
No, tell me more about the Diesel Brothers. Is it like the Bushwhackers? Like I imagine the
Probably.
Diesel Brothers also do the like arm thing, you know?
I wouldn't be surprised. Basically, it was them doing like chop shop, like car shit, and it got super popular and he got super famous. And then he ended up doing those conventions where it's like, hey, learn how to get popular and, give me your money and I'll tell you how to get rich and stuff like
Oh,
that.
one
Yeah.
of these guys
Yeah.
was your oh,
Oh, yeah.
I want to rip these dudes apart.
Do
I
it.
only say that if they are bullies. If one of them was a bully, and I saying this as I used to be a bully myself.
No.
Oh yeah, I was a bully. But it was only because I was bullied very, very
Fair.
desperately. But what like these guys look like tryhards.
Yeah, no, they do. The guy is his name's the Muscle. If you see a guy named the Muscle on there, that is him.
Ew, that's his name.
The
What is he, the
Muscle.
situation?
Kind of. Maybe he is the Mormon situation. And the
I mean,
situation
I
is
do have
that.
this placard over here that is from the Situation store, and it says, "We didn't come this far just to come this far."
Oh my god.
Because it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But also this dude,
Yeah.
yikes.
He seemed okay. I like reconnected with him for a little bit and chit chat. And he seemed nice at first, but then that
Okay, so
bully
we're
side,
we're fine with him now.
no, that bully side kind of came out a little bit. And because I made fun of the convention they were doing. And I was like, this seems a little, like you're telling people how to get rich by scamming them to come onto this for you guys to get rich. Is that the secret? Like they got to make their own convention, and he got pissed. And I just laughed. I did a laugh emoji.
Ah,
So
oh
yeah,
my, and that was the end of it?
well, he's like, you'll never matter to your life will never matter as much as mine, or blah blah blah, or you'll never be as successful as I am.
We're
So
gonna do this years. Why are we can you like okay, if you're a bully back in the day, that's one thing. But for you to still be like, yeah, like so self-important years later, get a
yeah,
life, bro.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't got a chance to talk to Jackie Zebrowski, and I have, so he can go fuck himself.
And this guy definitely wants to be talking to me. Oh
Yeah.
man, this guy certainly wants to be talking to me about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
I'll give him a pass because he seems like a nice guy. He does a lot of charitable stuff, and maybe I was
All
wrong
right.
to make fun of his work, but it just seemed weird. Maybe I was a little jealous. I don't know, but yeah, that's my weird coincidence. I used to joke like it's funny how karma works because I get bullied throughout my whole life, and the people who bullied me are now more successful than I'll ever be.
Don't think about it like that. You're successful in the ways that it counts, in the ways of the
True,
heart. You know,
true.
that's what matters.
Very true. So it was just one of those I like to poke fun of myself on stage. So I had to. But once I heard you guys talking about Real Salt Lake, I'm like, I bet Jackie's gonna love this little sip of tea that I have.
God, I love it. I love all kinds of, oh, thank you so much for sharing it because he's definitely being the bitch in this situation.
Yeah. Ooh, I got my own Who's the Bitch like segment on my own show.
On
Damn.
your own show. I
Now
brought
I'm
it to
blown up.
you.
Ooh, I love
Yeah.
it. In my own home? Yes. I fucking love it.
And
Yeah.
I'm not the bitch in my own home?
Well, usually I am. I am a very I'll
Well, your
admit I'm a
wife's not
bitch.
in this conversation.
No, no, I am her bitch, and I am proud to say I'm my wife's bitch. I will do anything
Hell
she asks
yeah.
because I am a good man, and I will be her bitch. I will worship the ground she works on because that's what she deserves.
I pathetically had to ask my husband, I was like, why? And this is at like coming from a person that is not as on the internet as he is. He's just way more on the internet than I am. And I was like, why is being a wife guy a bad thing? I was like, where's this? I was like, I know that, like, and he explained it to me. And I was like, because I feel like everything I hear about a wife guy, I was like, I feel like you're a wife guy. Like, and like, isn't that good? Doesn't it mean you just like me a lot? But
Yeah,
also, I don't know. I
uh,
understand the downsides according to the meme now.
yeah, but still, I mean, I would rather be a wife guy than like a dick husband or a hateful husband, if you want to use a little alliteration there.
Right? Like that's the thing. It's like the Al Bundys of the world, while yes, Married with Children, great fucking show, but
Yeah,
still, you don't want to bang Peg Bundy? You're gonna be like, ugh, Peg wants to have sex with that man? Al Bundy, you should be fucking kissing the ground that she walks on, that she even wants to be in the same room as you.
exactly. It should have been yes, ma'am, not no, ma'am. Get that shit out
Damn
of there.
straight.
Yeah.
Damn straight. Yes, it's the Yes Ma'am Club.
Yeah, I'm part of the Yes Ma'am Club, of course. My
Hell
friends used
yeah.
to make fun of me that I'm like, yeah, I did this for my wife, or like, I give my wife back rubs every night because I love her, and they're like, oh, you're a pussy, bro. And I'm like, no, I just love my wife. That's it. So I don't hang
Yep.
around with those bros anymore, so it's totally fine.
No, because yucko. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know anyone in my life that dislikes their partner. Like, I can't be
yeah.
around it anymore. I ain't got time for that shit
Oh,
because
me
I
neither.
am the bitch that's like, why are you guys together then? If you're
Yeah,
gonna say that stuff, why are you together?
yeah. I'm that bitch too. I'm like, hey, I don't want your fucking toxic relationship to interfere with mine. So see ya. Um,
Bye.
good segue about gross stuff. Good Pud. I just started watching it. I did not know that was a thing. I feel like I'm like oblivious to things on the internet sometimes because I get so sucked into my own little world. But I love when you and Henry work together. I really do. It's the best thing ever, and I love seeing those clips like on TikTok and shit. And how did that even get started? You guys are like, let's just eat some shitty fucking pudding and just joke around.
Henry was talking about how much he loved this specific pudding, and he wanted to do a thing for their Patreon about eating this specific banana pudding that he really, really liked. And then he invited me over because he's like, "Oh, do you want some of the I got extra this banana pudding." And then I ended up doing an episode with him that we ended up eating the pudding. And then the next one he invited me over. Okay, I'm gonna yell about this. I think it may have been like the second or third episode of this was only on the last podcast Patreon from years ago at this point. And Henry's like, "Oh, I want to do another one of those pudding things. Come over. I made some pudding." And I was like, "Awesome." I go over and it's not pudding. It's meat sauce that he had made the night before. and served it to me cold in a bowl because he said, "Isn't that just pudding?" And I said, "No, it's not. It's cold meat sauce in a bowl." And then we started talking and making so many jokes about the world of savory pudding and what we could do with it that we eventually launched Good Pud, which is a heightened version of us trying to become reality stars and in a weird separate dimension world where like the sibling rankings of celebrities really means a lot. That's the world that we do Good Pud in.
Nice. I love it. Because I would put you guys up there as top tier Hollywood like family. Like it's the Wayne brothers, you
Thank you.
guys, Equal Landing,
Thank you.
maybe some other people below, but you guys are top
Cusacks
tier.
are up there, you know.
Yeah, that's I love Joan Cusack. I met her once and I was so shy. I met her on a con. I was so nervous to meet her and I walked up and I'm like, you're more beautiful in person than I could ever imagine. Hi. And she's like, "Oh my God, you're so sweet. Here's an autograph picture." I'm like,
I would die if I met Joan Cusack.
she's so
I
great.
love Joan Cusack is one of my personal comedic heroes because she was so, especially as the sister of John Cusack, because she made her own path by being herself. Man, Debbie is one of the great, like in Addams Family Values, that movie is already so good. And she just, I can't believe that I love Addams Family Values more than the original
I
Addams
do
Family.
too.
I know it's not the original Addams Family. I'm just saying
No,
of
yeah,
that
but
version of Addams Family. But Debbie is what makes it.
oh yeah. My top two crushes in the 90s was Drew Barrymore and her. Like
Yeah,
hands down.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Her in and Out, which also was a huge inspiration for me because it
Oh,
was this
yes.
movie. You know, remember that movie with Kevin
I
Kline?
love that. I fucking love that
I
movie.
love, and especially when she's like, "I love to wait for you," and like that, that whole storyline. As someone that has dated multiple men that have come out afterwards, I just really felt seen in that movie.
It's such a good movie. I love a good 90s movie, especially a good 90s comedy, rom-com. I mean, besides horror, I love horror, wink, wink, because it's the name of the podcast. But
Damn
I
right.
love a good rom-com. I watched Never Been Kissed recently. I forgot how weird that movie was. I was like,
It
what? This is
is. It
creepy.
is weird. It is weird and it's creepy, but still, when I was in high school, that movie was like my everything. Now, yes, it is creepy on a rewatch.
Yes.
I guess it's creepy on a rewatch.
It's also,
Fine. Yeah.
yeah,
Fine, I guess.
I was watching it with my wife, and I'm kind of just like, there's that part where he's waiting and he doesn't show up, and I'm probably like, he probably didn't show up because she's not really 17. I know the ending, but what if he's just like, he left a note? He's like, oh, he said you're not 17, so he left. He moved.
He really wanted you to be a minor. Did you not
Yeah.
realize that? He's upset that you're an adult because of it.
God, I love Drew Barrymore so much. Oh,
And
she's
Drew Barrymore still
oh
looks fabulous. Like I really like her, even though everyone talks about how she's so touchy when she does her
well,
interviews and it
yeah,
weirds people out. But also, don't go on the show. Like if
yeah,
you don't like that's how she is with people. I would probably be weirded out if I didn't know going into it that she was going to be grabbing on me during the interview. But because I'm not a very touchy-feely person,
yeah.
but if it's Drew Barrymore, she can do
Oh
whatever
yeah,
she wants.
yeah. She can smack me in the mouth and call me a dirty whore, and I'd be like, oh my God, I love you.
But oh no, don't step on me with your heels. Oh
Yeah.
no.
Now I got a weird
Yeah.
fetish. Now I want to, Drew Barrymore lookalike to stomp on my balls with a high heel, and I think I need therapy for that.
You're talking to a monster fucker, so I completely understand. I mean, you ain't gotta ever be weirded out by anything you're into in front of me. That's for damn sure.
I don't king shame, but I'm pretty vanilla. But anyways, we could go on
Bro,
a
you
tangent about that.
I will at least say, and like earnestly said recently, have you watched any episodes of Creature Commandos, that new
No,
Mox show?
I've
It's
seen clips,
great.
but I need to.
It's fucking great. But I was like, you look at that Bride of Frankenstein and
Yeah.
tell me you don't want to fuck that Bride of Frankenstein? I don't think so. And maybe this is just because I'm very into like big scary women and I like big scary
Yeah.
women, but man, the bride in that show, woo! Oh man, she could do anything to me, but it is it's a great James Gunn. Like it's great show.
Yeah, I need to watch. I'm so behind on stuff just because I do a lot of reviews for this site called Macabre Daily, so I'm doing a lot of indie like stuff, and I half of my platform is having indie people and horror to come on to have a platform to kind of share their stuff. So I love that I get to do
Hell
that.
yeah.
And half of it is me fanboying and saying, "Hey, I'm a fan of yours. Do you want to come on my show?" Hence one of the reasons why you're here. But it's hard to
Thanks for
catch up.
having me.
Well, thanks for coming. I think it's great. I'm like I was so nervous. Like I'm always like I was saying earlier. I'm like I'm glad I'm on my Xanax train now. I can be myself. But speaking about celebrities, Page Seven is becoming one of my favorite ones that you guys are doing.
Thank
I love
you.
it with Holden and MJ. You three are just a trifecta of hilarity. And I love it. I
Thank
didn't
you.
realize how much I love celebrity gossip. And I love anything pop culture. So I mean, one of the big reasons why I do this, but I love it. I think you guys are great.
Thank you so much. We're also like now in our next iteration because Page Seven is coming up on its 15th anniversary.
Damn.
So, yeah. When people are like, "How do you do it? How do you?" And I'm like, "We did podcasting before anyone knew the word podcast
True.
existed." And how many people were like, "Why are you wasting your time doing this?" And well, sometimes you just got to waste your time for a really long time and turn it into a career. But it's not a waste of time. And we are trying to do more pop culture now. We're going to try and move more away from, because, dude, I try to live in the world of positive celebrity gossip. There's not a lot of it right now.
No, there's not.
There's something about like what's going on in the world. I don't know what's happening out there, but like no one's really feeling very silly right now. And I feel that that means it's even more important for us to be doing sillier work. Then I was like, all right, it's getting more serious out there. Then we need to get dumber in here. And that's kind of what I'm like, we need to dumb this up a little bit.
I love it. And congrats on 15 years. I've only been doing this almost 4 years. And, I did like a podcast before for 10, but it's podcasting to me, it's therapeutic. I love it. I get so excited. I get jazzed up like I'm going up on stage and doing stand up. And would I want this to be a career? Absolutely. But I'm not going to expect to happen right away. You got to put the work into it like anything you do. So it's, people
You
who
got
say
to
it's a
build
waste of
it.
time, they're dumb.
Yep. It's just, and that's okay. It's not for some people. But man, when you love it, you love it.
I love it. I love talking horror with people and having people that I'm a fan of and just learning about like what their horror stuff is. And it's, which is a great segue because Jackie, I've got to ask you, why do you love horror, by the way? Hence the name of the
Ooh,
podcast. I'm really promoting my name of the podcast, but
I
Jackie
love that.
Zebrowski, why do you love horror?
Why do I love horror? That's a great question.
Uh,
I love horror because it can be so much. Before I came on this show, I asked you straight up, I was just like, well, hit me with some horror movies because the world of horror, like I think the world of being a goth, which I do identify as, it contains multitudes of like, all right, well, what kind of horror do you like? Some people are very like, I'm not that big into torture porn. I really don't give a fuck about a hostel. Like, I'll watch them.
yeah,
It's fine. It's just not really my bag because it's just kind of like, well, yeah, it's cool to watch what SFX people can do, and that's always fun and like make it real gross. I love a good gross out. But if you're gonna gross me out, gross me out in the way of like a Terrifier, where there's also
Ooh,
so many
yeah.
more elements that are added into it. And horror can be whatever you want it to be. I actually have some, like, I have one on my list that isn't even technically horror, but to me is horrifying. And I view that as a horror movie. I love to be upset.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
horror does that for me because, we talked about it a lot when the quarantine first started, where like when you have an anxiety disorder, the way I do, it's like, well, it's kind of easier when the worst case scenario has happened outside, like also what is currently happening with our current environment. When it's all the worst it's ever been, it makes me feel like I was expecting this.
Yeah.
And I feel like horror gives me that in a way that I don't have to just rely on the horrors of reality, that I can almost quell my fears of my all the time anxiety by watching bad things happen to people on the screen.
I get that. I mean, like I had a really traumatic childhood and like it kind of like seeing that stuff is like, okay, this makes it reminds me of the evils in the world, kind of like you know, and this is a very dark joke, but so you remember the Chris Hansen To Catch a Predator like show?
Oh yeah.
That show reminds me of the evils of the world, but I will say this, and some people hate that I say this, it's the best prank show in the world. The best fucking prank show ever.
I mean, you're right. Ashton Kutcher could never. It's like, why wasn't he wearing a trucker hat? Like, you just got punked, you
Yeah.
predator.
Because these doofy guys are like, oh man, I can't wait to go on this really cool date. Oh, there's cookies here. Oh, wait. Oh, there's okay. Now I'm getting ambushed. It just reminds me of those, like, I don't know. It's a dark joke, I know, but I
I
had a
love
lot of
it.
that childhood trauma. So like I feel I can kind of joke. That's my trump card or safeguard, I should say. I don't like the
Same.
word, but no, I always joke and people hated that joke. Maybe it's just because I told it in Utah, but I always thought it was funny.
Probably. I think it's funny. I think it's definitely a joke you should keep. I think it's great. I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, so that's what horror does for me. And horror, like, best form of storytelling ever. There's such a multitude, like you were saying. Like, I grew up, I got exposed to horror at a very young age. Like, my mom used to wake me up at like 3 in the morning when I was like 2 years old to watch Nightmare on Elm Street. I got hooked into those Goosebumps books, the scary stories to tell in the dark, which are still very fucked up. I don't know if you read
Very
those.
scary. Very, very scary. The picture of the woman with all the spiders
Ooh,
hatching out of
yeah.
her face, I still think about that image. It
Oh,
really
yeah.
did ruin me. I also like I've had multiple traumatic experiences in my life as well, but it is weird that like my mom, I'm also very connected with my mom when it comes to horror, and it's also why Henry's so into horror because we were allowed to watch any horror we wanted growing up because my mom also loves horror. So she would just let us watch. So we were watching all this shit very, very young. And I know that it's got to be part of the reason why Henry and I are the way that we are,
I mean, it's
right?
probably why I'm the same way too.
Right? And why we all like each other. I would assume it's like, kindred spirits. Oh, you're fucked up too? Come on over. Great.
I mean, what I always assume, this is always an assumption I make. Most comedic people, half of them, I would say, are probably fucked up, and that's probably why they're so good at what they do. But yeah, horror fans unite harder and cooler than any fan I think out there.
My husband works, he's got a company, Crude Inc. I'm representing right now. Crude Inc.
Noise.
represent. So we go to horror cons a lot because he sells at horror cons, and seeing the differences of what people's take on horror artwork is unbelievable. It's so cool to see it from all across the board, to see like things that will give people nightmares to like silly cutesy dolly, like the kawaii version of horror, which is also fun. Like I love that it all comes together under one roof, and it's everybody there because they like similar stuff but in different ways, and that's so cool to me. Like we follow so many cool artists that we've met through these cons because it it just like it opens up so much. I say I feel the same way about horror artwork as I do horror movies, that it's like try to do something with it. Like if you do something different or cool at all, I'm gonna enjoy it.
Nice. I should send you some of my artwork. I used to, I'll do it occasionally,
Please.
but I like to do horror mixed with Pokemon. So I have like Sam from Trick or Treat mixed in with this little baby version of Pikachu, and it looks really cool. I'm not finished with it,
Yes.
but Hannibal Lecter, I've got a really good a Leatherface one. I'll send it to you
Do you
sometime.
have a
But
store, or do you just do it for your fun for fun?
I just do it for fun when I can. I mean, most of the time it's writing and watching movies, and I'm working on my a couple of my books I'm doing right now. So I haven't drawn as much as I used to, but I love it. I love to draw.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. Hell yeah, good for you. It's so great to be able to like to take the time to work on projects like that for yourself. You're like, no, because I like to do it and because it makes me feel good and fulfilled. And we might not always have the most amount of time to give to it, but I feel like any minute that you give towards it, you're just like, good for me. And I'm hell yeah, I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I mean, I just love I love being creative. Being creative is just a way as an outlet for me to quell the demons, as they say, and just it's fun. So like writing's been a big thing. I'm working on like some horror shorts that I'm doing. I mean, I'm writing some like a guide to horror movies, like a beginner's guide, and I write my
Ooh,
reviews and stuff like
hell
that.
yeah.
So it's I love I've it's kind of like writing the reviews kind of sparked my love of horror even more, but also writing. So it's been like a renaissance in my life, so to speak. I'm doing a lot of hand gestures. I don't know why.
You're around in Italian.
Oh,
Yeah, you better watch out. Uh-oh. I won't. I won't molest through the screen. Fine.
I mean, I'd be honored, but also I'd feel ashamed because I'm a married
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I guess. And then Jeff would have to beat you up, and then it would just be a whole thing, you
No,
know?
because I want to be best friends with Jeff too. I love what he
Yeah,
does.
you have to be friends with Jeff. Also, Jeff is a gentle giant. He wouldn't actually beat you up. But I'd be
That's
like,
how I
go,
am.
you go beat, you beat. And you'd be like, Jackie, I'm not gonna beat anyone for you. But sometimes, I
We'd
gotta
probably yell.
ask.
Yeah, I mean, we'd probably be tough at each other at first, but then we'd yell at each other until we cry and then hug, and then we'd be okay. I
And
think
then you
that's how
talk
it
about
would
your
go.
feelings.
Yeah,
I think it's more of what would happen, and that's fine too.
I mean, I'm no Adonis. I like to tell my wife, you married a personality Adonis. That's I I always joke. I'm like, you found me in the bargain bin of a supermarket, and I was
Don't.
it's a joke. I like I said, I like to make fun of myself. I'm like, you found me in the DVD bargain bin at a supermarket, but it was a gem that everybody missed out on.
Yeah, it
So
was a gem. Yeah, you
yeah,
were worth it. You were worth the bargain.
hell yeah. I'm a
Hell yeah.
bargain man. I'm a bargain bin man, and I'm proud of it. Oh
Damn
man.
straight.
Yeah. So you made a list of horror movies, by the way, which I always feel so bad asking people because it's such a tough question. Like narrow down some of your favorite horror movies. I barely can do it myself, but I'm curious what's on the Jackie Zebrowski horror list.
Man, I definitely made this list because I was like, all right. I didn't want to be like, all right, what are your favorite horror movies of all time? Because obviously, very difficult to do. And I was like, all right, first out the gate, what are horror movies that have lasted in my brain that I still think about randomly? And like ones that affected me to my core
Nice.
that I tell people when they say, "Oh, I want something that's real fucked up. What should I watch?" And I'll be like, "Oh, I got a list for you." And that's kind of what the list I've made today is. And some of them I'm like, I don't even know if I can say that The Sadness is one of my favorite horror movies. I will say I've seen it twice, and I there is one specific scene in it that I don't want to ruin for you in case you happen to be into a Taiwanese zombie movie. Have you seen The Sadness?
I haven't. I've heard about it. I have like a growing list of like things I need to watch. So I think that is on the list that I have yet to see.
Bro, it is not for the faint of heart. It is not for everybody. It's why I bring it up because it was a movie that Jeff was like, I heard this is really good. I was like, hell yeah, pop it on. Zombie movies, not always my bag. Sometimes I dare say oftentimes I feel like zombie movies, and unfortunately until we get that Robert Eggers Werewolf, I feel very similar
Yes.
about a lot of werewolf movies as well. I feel it's a lot of the same. And then there's the movies like Train to Busan, which fuck yeah.
Ooh,
And
yes.
the sadness. So if you're not like the other girls and you don't love every zombie movie, but you love a brutal fucked up movie about where essentially the zombie sickness is I'm not a scientist, surprise, so I don't know what happens in the brain, but it essentially shuts off all of your good positive decision making, and whatever it is in your brain, it affects that, so it amps up the violence, the sexual assault, the like, it makes you absolutely uninhibited insane like a rabid animal.
Damn.
And this rips through Taiwan. And it is following this couple that is literally just trying to get through it and doesn't know that it's happening and doesn't know what's happening. They just know that everybody's going crazy and they don't know how it's being transferred to people. But can I ruin one scene of why
Please
I
do.
say the sadness? And I will say, just go ahead a minute if you don't want it to be. I'm not ruining anything. There is just a scene where a woman's eye gets ripped out of her face, and then this guy comes running. He rips out his dick and he rapes her face in the eye socket that had just been ripped out. And I watched it, I was just like, I was just, I haven't seen such a creative rape in a minute. And it is so violent. Like, it's not even like, you're not even thinking of it as that. You're more just so awash by the entire movie. And so I say there's a creative R in the movie. So if you're not into that, don't watch the movie. But the sadness, I think about it all the time
Nice. Here's
now.
how my brain works. My brain associated what you just told me with the South Park Imagination Land where the woodland critters pee in the eye socket of strawberry shortcake. I don't know.
Yeah. Very similar. Yeah, very similar in tone to the way it
Yeah.
happened in the sadness.
I don't know why. It's my brain has got a weird association, and it's worked for me comedically, but at the same time, I kind of like step back. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with me? Why would
You
I?
know, we absorb a lot of media, and so sometimes the connections come out in ways you don't expect.
True. But yes, I will definitely check out that movie. I'm not a big zombie fan either, but I've been impressed with some. Train to Busan was definitely one I was really
Right?
impressed with.
There's certain ones that get it right, but you feel me on the werewolf. Like, I a friend of mine went to go see Wolfman. I almost see every movie in the movie theater because I've got AMC stubs. I'm
Oh yeah.
obsessed with it. I go to the movies all the time. And I didn't go see Wolfman. And I asked a buddy of mine who went to see it, and he's like, I mean, it's nothing you haven't seen in every other Wolfman movie. And I was like, okay, I'm good. But Robert Eggers' Werewolf, I think I don't know if that comes out next year or the following year,
I
but
can't remember.
I'll almost see it.
Yeah, no, you make a good point with werewolf movies. It's oversaturated. I mean, I'm trying to think like 80s and 90s for werewolves, perfect. I mean,
That was the
early
heyday of the
yeah.
wolf. That it really, I feel, it was back then.
I mean, early 2000 Ginger Snaps is a fucking great werewolf movie. I
It
love
is.
Ginger
I
Snaps.
do like ginger snaps. And I mean, sexy wolf, anything I'm down with.
Yeah. Like Anna Paquin in Trick or Treat, her little like weird, like they're pulling their skin
Oh
off. That was
yeah.
sick
Oh yeah,
too.
that's fun. Again, it's doing something at least a little bit different with it. Like, just give me something else. Just give me something else.
Yeah. I mean, I liked
But
Wes
like
Craven's
American
first.
Werewolf in London, American Werewolf,
Yeah.
that's, I would never, I'm not saying that that's about, but that was the beginning of it. That's,
No, I would put that up there. That Bad Moon, Howling, Silver Bullet was great. Um,
mm,
a lot of people I mentioned this earlier, but a lot of people don't like Cursed, the Wes Craven one that came out like forever ago with Christina Ricci and Jesse Eisenberg.
I don't think I saw that one.
It's okay. I mean, it's kind of a horror comedy, but it has a werewolf. You get the cursed mark of the beast, and it's them turning into werewolves, and it's like the sexiness and appeal of a werewolf and
Gotcha.
stuff. But I liked it. I mean, I love Wes Craven, anything he does, so I'm all for that. But yeah, we need an original werewolf take. I mean, I didn't want to see that new one because it just, I don't know, it didn't appeal to me. I'm a I'm a basic bitch. I'll say this. I'm a basic bitch to where new stuff, if it doesn't look good to me, I'm gonna go back to the past and enjoy what I enjoy.
I'm proud of you. It is like it's a blessing and it's a curse
Yes,
that I have to watch television for a living, and I'm sure that you feel that way sometimes as well when you're just like, you're not always in the movie like a horror movie mood, and sometimes you want to watch it, and sometimes people are like, "Oh, boo-hoo, you have to watch it." And I'm like, "But I do have to like try to
true.
consume as much as I can, while also most of my work has to be done in complete silence. So I can't do it while I do other things. So it's like, it is difficult."
I know, like I'll say this, like there are times I do not want to watch some of the screeners I watch, but then I get really, really fucking impressed. Like there's this one I saw recently I reviewed called, I think it's called Mother, Father, Brother, Sister Frank. And it's about this family who is getting blackmailed by their uncle. And it's a horror comedy. They come together and they have to kill the uncle, and they're trying to, elude everybody coming
Ooh,
to their house.
fun.
I
Yeah,
liked
this
it.
looks fun.
Yeah, I was very impressed with that. And there's also one called They're Watching is a great found footage movie. Um,
Oh,
that one
was
was
that on
about,
Shudder?
I think so. It's either on Shudder or Tubi, but I reviewed that one and had some people on for that.
Tubi.
I
I feel
know.
like Tubi is the elusive. It's like the one that I'm like, I'm like, I won't download another one. But it's like, bitch, you might have to download this one.
Yeah, and I am a huge found footage horror fan. That is one of my favorite subgenres. So I've been kind of working with this. I'll give them a little plug. This app called Found TV app. It's just a found footage streaming. So
Oh,
They're Watching is
cool.
on there. Hell House is on there, which I love. Hell House,
Hell yeah.
got a nice personal like love for that. And
Oh yeah.
one you were talking about like sadness being a fucked up thing you warn people about. Mine is Poughkeepsie tapes that I always warn people about. That's
Ooh,
fucked
yeah.
up.
Oh, yeah. Real fucked up. Oh, yeah. I love me some found footage. I need to watch Hell House. This is my confession. Everyone has told me they love Hell House. They love Hell House. I have fallen asleep twice trying to watch Hell House, and I
I get it.
don't, but like, I think there's something wrong with me. Like, I feel like everyone I know and love and trust loves this movie. I was like, man, have I been too stoned while I watched it? I was like, what is it that? And I love found footage, and I don't know why. And I'm like, I need to go back to the drawing board in Hell House.
Yeah, it took me a bit too because I think it took me a couple times to watch, and I was like, man, I got to really. And then I watched it and I loved it. And then the Carmichael Manor came out, which I got a screener for that. Thankfully, I love getting screeners for
Ooh,
things that I'm a fan of. So I watched that, interviewed some people from it, and now I can't wait for the next one. But it's like that weird one, and Grave Encounters and stuff. But no, I don't want to take
dude,
away.
Grave
I
Encounters.
love Grave
Woo!
Encounters, but yeah, I don't want to take away from your list. What were some of the other ones that you were mentioning on there?
I have, all right, so I'm gonna go with an oldie because it was the first thing I put on this list because I'd always come back to the movie Poltergeist. I know that it
Ooh,
is not like
yes.
because like I said, I tried to choose very different different kinds of horror. And the one thing I will always say about Poltergeist is I know, ugh, RIP though, it has my favorite horror family in it.
Yes.
I'll never forget when we first started dating, Jeff and I had watched Poltergeist because it's one of my favorite movies. And I was like, let's watch Poltergeist because I can watch it anytime. And he looked at me and he had said it, I had never really thought about it this way before. And he's like, man, Craig T. Nelson is my favorite of all. He's like, of all any man in any of these movies because he listens to his wife. He
True.
doesn't say, like, you're crazy for feeling this way. What are you talking about? He actually goes, oh, Okay, well, I'll look into it. Like, why don't we work on, oh, maybe something is wrong with the house, rather than how many movies have we seen of being like, you've gone mad. Oh, this woman's got bitch's disease. Like, there's always so much of that, of not believing anyone, that Jeff looked at me and was like, if you ever came to me and were like, I think that we're haunted, I'd listen and we'd do something about it. And that made me want to continue dating him. I was like,
Nice.
yeah, you even noticing that about Craig T. Nelson makes me want to continue seeing you because I know you would actually take care of me in like an experience like this.
Nice. I never thought about it. Yeah, he is. Craig T. Nelson is a wife bro too. He's like, I'm here for you. Let's get these fucking poltergeists. I also love the lore behind the scenes of that movie too, with the real bodies and all the cursed shit that's happening.
I mean, the fact that they did it on an actual burial ground, like that's insane. What
Yes.
are you talking about? And the fact that like what happens in the movie is also kind of real.
Yeah.
Poltergeist is terrifying. And the fact that Zelda Rubinstein exists. Like all of these things come together to make Poltergeist a movie that like you watch that tree clown scene and you come talk to me like if that didn't destroy your childhood, I don't know if we have anything in common.
No,
I was so scared because I also had a tree outside of my bedroom window. And I remember thinking that tree, and also Henry and I used to sleep in like a railroad-esque room with like a big opening. And we would see, both had our own room, but we would sleep head to head in our own beds in our own rooms. And he would tell me things like about how the tree was going to come in through the window and get me in the night. And he would tell me those things like as I would be going to sleep. It's also why I wore socks going to bed until I was like 14 because Henry always told me that I was going to be dragged out the window by the elves that live in the trees if
oh
I
my
didn't wear
god.
socks to bed. And I never told anyone why I always had to wear socks to bed. I was scared.
Nice. It's an exclusive on this show. Now everybody knows, they're gonna know, and they won't judge you because that's funny. My sisters are younger than me and they would freak me with shit out like that too. And we had something about being a kid. There was always just a fucking tree, no matter where you lived. Ours would scratch on the window.
This
And
is the thing. They're
yeah.
already scary. It's all because they do shit like that. If you grew up with a big tree, like, and I was on the second floor, so like it was, oh, I'm up in the tree.
That's
I
terrifying.
will say that I'm sad. Maybe this all comes from the fact that I'm sad that I never got to climb down the tree and sneak out of that house. So by the time I was sneaking out age, we were on the first floor, thank God. So I could just pop right out that window.
Nice.
Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry, I'll talk about horror films.
No, it's good to go on. That's what we get distracted and go off tangents on this podcast. I love it. I mean, it makes for good content. So, and it just reminds me, yeah, man, we have a fucking creepy ass lavender tree in my house, in my bedroom sometimes. It follows you everywhere. It's
You're
agricultural
gonna think
shit.
about this going to sleep tonight. You're gonna think about that tree coming through the window.
It's
You're gonna
bad
think about it.
enough. Yeah, I already think about it. It's bad enough that like I huddle in bed and watch horror movies sometimes under the covers, and I hear that, and now I'm gonna just hyper focus on it now even more.
Oh yeah. And then the Chucky doll behind you, and then that's gonna like get like become the clown, and then he's gonna start stretching out, and it's gonna be a whole thing.
Ooh, I love the parody and screen and scary movie too with that clown. Have you seen that? Like he just like come here, bum 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 bum, and he just
Oh yeah.
I love. Oh god, I love a good horror parody too. If you can reference something perfectly and make me laugh about a horror movie I love, sold.
Oh yeah, so fun. And like I was against horror comedy for a very long time because I was just like no place for it. But that was also I was a bitch about all comedy because as a comedian, I think you understand. I think we all go through the ebbs and flows of there are some years where I was like I don't want to watch anything comedic. I don't give a fuck. I don't like it is my life. I do not need to watch comedy anywhere. So I went through that period for quite a long time. And then I've seen some horror comedies since that have changed my viewpoint on it. Like I
Yeah.
was never like, I was always an original Evil Dead, but like it kind of lost me in the second one just because it got so campy. But now watching it with new eyes, I'm like, oh, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I had to stick up my ass.
Oh, I'm the same way. I was telling Eddie when he was on, like, being a comedian, I get very like judgmental about comedy sometimes. I'm like, nah, you could do better. I have that mean girl sometimes internally, but then I'm like, no, it's funny. I got to give everything a chance, but I don't know. It's just, it's hard. It's hard being like when you do comedy, it's really hard not to be a little judgy with horror comedies or like comedy in general that other people do. But at the same time, if you're a fan of movies, you have to kind of take a step back too with no expectations. So I think I totally get it.
And it takes all kinds too. Like it's like why be upset because they're not the best at it when it's like, yeah, well, they're trying something. So that's why I have really truly changed my perspective of like if you're trying something, I'm gonna at least enjoy it. Don't bore me. It's like that is my biggest issue. If a horror movie bores me,
Hmm.
what are we doing here? Like, it's just, and I'm saying this as a person, you know what? This is a good segue into this one. I'm saying this as a person who loves two movies, Hagazusa and The Devil's Bath. Both of
Ooh,
these
okay.
movies, I do not know if some people would consider them horror movies. I consider them horror movies. Have you seen Hagazusa or Devil's Bath?
No, but I've heard of them and I've heard good things about it. And I just, it's, yeah, I'm a terrible horror host. Like, I'm reminded I need to see more horror movies than what I usually watch.
But at the same time, don't you get recommendations from people and then you're not wasting your time
True.
then you get to go from here and you might go check some of these out and then you'll have more in your repertoire. Also, you got to
True.
remember I am older than you are, so it's like I've got more years of watching movies under my belt.
Well, I thought you were 30. I thought you were 25.
I'm
Did
sorry,
you
I'm
lie?
14
You
actually,
lied
and
to
you're
me.
talking to a minor, and I am upset about it. No,
No, I
I'm
get it.
old. I'm very, very old, but
I'm old.
Hagazusa is, to some people, very boring. It is a slow German-Austrian film about a witch that lives in the woods.
Ooh, okay.
I like that kind of thing. It is slow. I feel it is very, very upsetting, but you gotta like slow. Some people don't want this. They don't want to move because, like, it's not filled with a bunch of kills, but it's that slow. And I love the slow dread, and I apologize to speak of an experience I don't think that you have experienced, but as a woman, I love watching movies like this where the impetus is, man, you know what's the worst of all? Being a woman. Because The Devil's Bath. So have you heard about, I don't mean to over explain to you The Devil's Bath. Have you heard of like what it's about?
I've heard vaguely, but please over explain as much as you want.
It's like it's essentially back from a time when their lives were so bad that a lot of people in 1750 wanted to end their own lives. But back then, and I mean, I guess still, according to definitely what religion you're a part of, they couldn't kill themselves because they would go to hell. So, what oftentimes, specifically women, because their lives were so horrible, they would sometimes kill their own children and then go to the sheriff's office in town and say, I killed a kid. You gotta execute me. And they would absolve them before the execution. And so this movie, I will say, has created a lot of bits in my household. And maybe they're not bits to everybody, but let's just say there's a portion of this movie where this woman is dosing herself with rat poison every day because it's better to live in a world of rat poison than it is for her to live her life every day. And so whenever I'm having a bad day, I'll go to my husband and go, "Uh-oh, rat poison. Uh-oh, rat poison. Gonna rat poison." He goes, "Baby, please, please don't rat poison." I'm like, "I'm gonna rat poison." And so we make rat poison jokes a lot to each other.
Nice. No, it's good. My wife and I do dark jokes. Well, I mean, she's like, be careful because if you're dead, then I'm gonna miss you. So, like every time.
Yeah, you got to,
Yeah, I mean, I like dark humor and I love that she's the same way too.
That's great. Yeah, it's more fun this way. All right? Life is
Yeah.
difficult. Have a smile. Make a joke about eating rat poison. No, I don't keep rat poison in the house, and it's probably for the best. But, I don't want to tempt myself with a good time. That's what my mushrooms are for. I've got other things that I poison myself with, and I have a good time. Thank you very much. But I like slow, man, give me some ritualistic sacrifice, and I'm your bitch. But
Yeah.
I know that some people are not into those kinds of horror movies. But Hagazusa, man, it sucks you into this woman's sad witch world. And well, don't fuck with a witch.
Oh yeah. That's why I don't go camping is because of the Blair Witch. I've never gone camping since I've seen that. I say that joke all the time, but yeah, I can't go camping because of that.
I understand. Don't do it. It's so insane to me. The thinking of you think about the Crucible, you think about, Goody Proctor and all that shit. It's like, if you really think these women are witches, why would you persecute them? Do you not
Yeah.
realize that if they are witches, they're going to come back and kill you? Like, they're going to do something they're going to curse you, they're going to do something. But that goes to show that they never thought they were actual witches. Right? I
Yeah.
feel like, right, guys? I feel not to go on this brigade of being a woman is hard, but one of the my other favorite movies on this list is The Witch. Because man,
Oh
I didn't
yeah.
include, I will say, I threw on Devil's Bath last minute, and Hagazusa I just mentioned, that was not on my list, but I just threw that in for good measure. But The Witch is another one of those where it's so funny. I very, very rarely get into fights with people when they don't like a movie that I love. Very rare.
Same. I'm the same way. It's very rare.
Everybody's got their own taste. Everybody comes to every movie with their own life experience. I understand. Not every movie is for everybody. I also know that, I sometimes have bad taste, and I'm fine with that. But one of our family members had said, she was like, I saw the witch and I thought it was dumb and bad and just saying all women are idiots. And I was like, uh what? What? I'm sorry, you're wrong. What do you mean? And the more she talked about it, she eventually confessed that she watched the movie The Witch right after being broken up with out of an 11-year relationship. And she watched this movie crying and drunk because she was upset. And I was like, I think you should watch it again because I don't think you got what the movie was saying. I think that
Yeah.
what it was saying is that, again, not to make a joke out of this, of their lives were so bad. Being a woman then was so bad that they'd rather steal babies and fly in the fucking woods. Dost thou want to live deliciously? You're damn fucking right I do. If it's live deliciously or be sold or be raped to death or be raped by your brother and it's none of those are things I want to do. Or I can eat this baby and fly in the woods. What do you think I'm gonna choose? I would be a witch so fucking fast if given the opportunity. Give me that power. I want that
Oh
power.
yeah. 100%.
And
And I love that you made the emphasis of the point with your slime, by the way. You're just like,
thank you.
there's it's
My boba
powerful.
slime.
It's
My
very
boba slime.
powerful.
It is. It really is. And this is coming from a person that was raised Catholic, but also raised by a mother that studied Wicca. So she would talk to me about my strength as a woman and what I could take from the earth. And I think it's possible and I think it's awesome.
Oh, I do too. I mean, I grew up, like I mentioned, in a house full of girls, so I know that women are very powerful, very respectful, very capable of more than any man can do or any men can do. I totally respect that. And I think, you know, say what you will, I think women rule the world behind the shadows and do it in a very powerful way. I mean, I don't want to be like, I'm a feminist. I mean, I am. I respect women 100% because I'm a big brother to three sisters. And, I know the plight of what, you go to. I'll never understand because I'm a man, but I at least know and acknowledge how hard it is. So yeah, witch it up. I say, witch it up,
Thank
get
you.
witchy,
I
get bitchy
appreciate
and
it.
witchy. Oh, you're
I
very
will
welcome.
say, not, to quote the great Big Fat Greek Wedding, but the man is the head of the family, but the woman is the neck, and she turns the head any way she wants. And that is a quote that my mom and I say to each other
Nice.
all the time.
I love it. Such a good movie too.
Dude, it's a great movie. It really, I like, my husband is not a huge rom-com person, but when we got married a couple of years ago, I was like, we gotta watch some marriage rom-coms. And I showed him my Big Fat Greek Wedding because my family quotes it. Like, my whole family quotes my Big Fat Greek Wedding. It's like, oh, no, you don't eat meat? Okay, I'll make lamb. And like, we make that joke because my mom still doesn't understand how to cook for Natalie, even though Natalie is she's a pescatarian. It just means she doesn't eat meat. My mom goes, but she can eat chicken, right? I'm like, mother, is it an animal? No. But then she doesn't understand. She's like, but then the fish. And I'm like, I can't explain this to you. But that's why we make the joke all the
I
time
love
from my
that.
Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Yeah, my wife and I'm glad she likes rom-coms as much as we do. Every Christmas we watch those Netflix Hallmarky ones. Like, did you watch Hot
Yes.
Frosty? What the fuck was
Oh,
that?
we watched
Yeah.
Hot Frosty. Oh, you damn right we watched some Hot Frosty. And also, weird, it's back to that like whole poor things with the like, do you really want to fuck somebody with the brain of a snowman? It's not really my bag, but some other people's bags. Not that I liked poor things. I like poor things a lot. I love a Yorgos. Yorgos Lanthimos. I love a Yorgos.
Yeah, I almost did a rom-com podcast back in the day because I loved them so much. But now I'm
Really?
yeah, I almost did, but I love horror and I love rom-coms. I'm a very weird mixed bag, but maybe one day, maybe once I make this a full career, I'll split and do some other podcasts as well. Maybe make a rom-com. I could do it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I love this. I believe in you.
Oh, it's the world to me. I've made
Hell
it. If
yeah.
Jackie Zebrowski says that she believes in me, I've fucking made it. I
I
made it.
believe in you and you're not the bitch. So I feel like this is all you.
I mean, I could be a bitch. I've had bitch moments. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of tea in my life that I will tell you because I assume now we're best friends, and I just assume
You can
everybody
tell me,
everybody on this
please.
podcast is my best friend. That's how I
I love that. I
that's
think
how
that's
lame I am.
great. You are not. You stop that. Oh, you're gonna have to deal with this as your friend, and I'm always gonna
Okay.
call out your any self-depreciating comments because I'm actively trying to work on not talking poorly about myself. But
Yeah,
then
it's
I
hard.
started realizing that I started trying to do it, and then I'm like, everybody talks about themselves so badly. We must be better about these things.
True. It's true. I'm just so used to joking and doing self-deprecating jokes that sometimes I don't realize that I'm doing it. But yeah. Anyways,
That's why
off
you need a
topic.
me in your life so that I can point it out to you annoyingly, and then you'll finally
Do
get
it.
to a point you're like, fine, I will stop saying self-depreciating comments about myself. And then, is that not what we want?
I know I need an extra. My wife does it plenty, so I'm sure she could, get help with the workload on that. So
She
I,
needs some help, and
yeah,
I'm here for her.
I love it.
Now, this is not, I mean, it's not a found footage, but it's
Okay.
not. But in my brain, it kind of works like this. And I think that's because I have spent a lot of time watching YouTube videos about cave accidents.
Ooh,
I've
okay.
lost a lot
Done
of
that.
time
I've done
to
that.
right? If you got of that, I'm just like, and then I'm like, and every time I'm like, why would they go in there? Why would they? And they're like, because this cave has never had a cave map, and so this person goes on their belly like a snake, and they want to find. And I'm like, why would you do that? And I know, don't get me wrong, somebody's got to do it, but that is why the movie, The Descent, is
Oh, I
still,
love
to
it.
me, one of my favorite and scariest movies because I've seen it, I think at this point, 10 times, and it always creeps me out. And I can never remember. Also, have you seen it?
Oh yeah, many times. I love that. I've seen the sequel too. I don't mind the sequel. I think it's a good pairing, but the original always going to be the best.
The original, God, I guess, man, look at me. I'm choosing so many female-centric horror movies, and I don't mean to. That was not
Good.
like my intention at all. Because this movie gets the writing of bitches on a trip. And I also didn't realize until this conversation how much of these movies I like because of based in reality of like
Yeah.
how it is written. It's like very, I'm starting to see a pattern here, but like The Descent, so often you see bitches on a trip and they're like, oh my God, ba ba ba. Like you may as well be watching The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And this, I feel like got way more of the like, you know, we talk about it often, like Page Seven is a show that is like a sleepover. And sometimes MJ and I will talk in a way that like gets really intense about our feelings and emotions and how we really feel about a situation. But what I think that people don't understand if you've never been to a sleepover with girls is that oftentimes, even when we were much younger, it goes there. It gets weird. You talk about weird shit sometimes.
Oh
And
yeah.
like me and my girls, we still get together. We get together once a month. We call ourselves the Theme Gals. And we
I
often
love it.
have a shame circle where we all talk about something that we were ashamed of doing the last month. And it is
Okay.
some, but then Jeff is like, we're just like watching Crank. Why are you guys having a shame circle while when you go, why are you doing this? And I was like, women oftentimes like to get real. And that's how we connect with each other. And I'm not saying all women, I'm just saying particularly for my experience as a woman. But the descent gets it. And that's why going into that cave, I'm already like, oh, I know these bitches. And now they're stuck in a cave. And all I could think about was how often, because my bitches and I will go on bitches trips, and how often I end up getting taught because I'm the scared one. I am riddled with anxiety. And every new experience, I'm like, I guess, but we're gonna die. Like I am that person in the group.
No, me too.
But I could see us on a trip like this and me being like, I'll never go inside of a cave. I'll never go inside of a cave. And then all of a sudden, bitches got me inside of a cave. And then all of a sudden, we can't get out of the cave. And then who's going to be the one being like, I said we were going to die on this trip. But then so much of the descent is bitches trapped in a cave with goss. And that is the scariest thing to me of all.
Ooh, okay. Kind of makes me think like why there hasn't been like a reality TV show based movie like think Real Housewives but horror. Like the movie's around like a Real Housewife scenario, but they get bumped off, but then you don't know what's happening to them and they're really getting killed off the show. Oh, I have good ideas
Honestly,
sometimes.
not reality show that does a little remind me of Bodies, Bodies, Bodies,
Oh,
though.
okay,
That
yeah, true.
which is not again not reality, but they are all playing that game and then they don't realize that they're actually getting killed.
True, true.
Which I will say, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies surprised me that I liked it as much as I did.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
I feel like these youths and their horror, some of it I need a double watching of. Like for instance, when I saw the TV Glow, I first watched it and I didn't really get it, and then I watched it again and I was like, oh, this is brilliant. Oh, okay, I get it now. I get it. I just didn't under. I thought it was going to be way more of a horror movie than it was, but it's bringing in a new fresh like this is the cool thing about the new young people coming up and making new horror, they're making shit I haven't seen. Like, I'm sure Ed Larson, did he bring up Skinamarink? Did he bring
No,
up how
he
he
didn't.
says Skinamarink is the worst movie he has ever seen? He hates that it exists. He's angry that he watched it. He hates that anybody likes it. And I was just like, I liked it. But I liked it because, well, I hadn't seen that before.
Yeah.
I understand why people hate it. I can see why a lot of people disliked it. But I liked it.
That's it's horror subjective. Like, I hated the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, but people loved it. But I can't judge them for that. Everybody loves what they love, but
I
it's
love what they
fucking
love.
terrible.
Because for me, if Freddy's in it, I love it. So it's like that's it. Just for even when it gets weird, I'm like, I mean, if Freddy's in it, I love it.
Yeah, same.
So just everybody. That's why I try not to fight with people when they dislike a horror film, specifically horror films, because everybody comes at it with different things. Like, for instance, now this movie, I said to Jeff, and I was like, well, it's not a horror movie. And he's like, well, do you still have nightmares about it? And I said, yeah. He's like, well, it is horror to you, right?
Yeah, I would
So I
agree with
have
that.
included the movie Threads. Have you ever seen Threads before?
It sounds so familiar. How old
It
is it? Is it
is
older?
it is from the 80s. It's a
Okay.
UK, and essentially it is about a nuclear attack on the UK and what would have happened afterwards. So
Okay.
they worked with scientists to find out what would happen with the fallout after a nuclear attack on something that like so densely populated and what would have actually happened. And they go through the long term of what world would become if that had happened. And because it's so real, because they did all their due diligence, and on top of it, they put it out the way it seems like it's a news brought like of like this is like it's real news. And it's very, very, very upsetting what happens after a nuclear attack and what happens to society. And it made me so scared of of being subjected to a nuclear attack. And we watched this movie during the second week of quarantine when Jeff and I had decided, because we both love horror, we're like, what if we only watch movies that are more upsetting than what's happening out there? And we watched Come and See, we watched Threads, we watched every movie that was about just humanity at its worst. And I cried and cried and cried. And then to a point that finally Henry was like, why are you doing that? And I was like, I don't know. I guess I thought it would be funny, but I keep crying.
I
And
mean,
that's
it works.
knowing me in a nutshell.
No, I get that. No, I think that's a good approach. Watch what's more upsetting and outside, and it's hard to do that now because everything's upsetting. But I
Very,
mean,
very upsetting.
yeah. Oh God. But yeah, oh man, that's a good. I'll have to look up Threads. That I feel like I've heard of it. I feel like I've seen it, but my old man
You
brain
might
is very
have.
forgetful.
You might have. Also, when you've seen as many movies, do you know how many times I'll watch like a trailer of a movie like we should watch this and just like literally we watched it a month ago. I watch so many movies that I just forget. Sometimes you just forget.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ed told me when we were wrapping up, he's like, "Get Jackie on. She loves Shudder. She's on Shudder like all the time." And I'm like, "Well, I have always wanted to have Jackie on, so yes, I will." But I Shudder's got some great stuff. I was telling you, like in our little email pen pal thing, I need to watch Creep Tapes because I have yet to watch that. But no, do you have any Shudder favorites per se that you've really drawn to?
I you just said Shudder, and I realized that I mean it's not on this list because it didn't break it didn't break me, but I was very surprised by the movie Mads. Mads just came out on Shudder. It is a French movie. It is done in a true one take.
Ooh, I like that.
And it is whoo! It's I think an hour and 10 minutes, and it just rips through because it, but also surprised that I'm bringing up another zombie movie. It is a zombie movie, but I was very surprised that A, I liked it, that B, it was a one take, and then Jeff looked into it, and apparently they did the entire movie. They would like did rehearsals, and then they started on a Monday. And because it had to be shot all at night, and they did the entire movie, and then they did it all through on Tuesday, and then they did it all through on Wednesday, and then by Friday they got the take that's the movie. And like
Damn.
this is a visceral movie. I was like, to do this over it, all of it, over and over again. Yikes. I felt bad for him. But Mads is real good. And
Nice.
also, the Creep tapes, real good. Definitely check it out. Very effective use of their time. I really enjoy the Creep movies. I think they totally hold up. I like what's his name?
Mark Duplass.
Mark Duplass. I like Mark Duplass. And I like a lot of like the other indie, like I don't know. So was it Blue Jay, Bluebird? There's another one of those like Mark Duplass
Mm,
indie kind of
yeah.
movies that was just like a beautiful. I just think they're really good and effectively use their time with horror. I think it is always a mistake for a horror movie to be 2 hours long, or how dare you longer than it. I think that it should be an effective use of your time, and Creep Tapes in 20 minutes effectively sets up the whole thing, creates good character work, and is creepy in 20 minutes and a full story in every episode. That's hard to fucking do.
No, it really is.
But I really recommend watching the Creep Tapes. God, what was I just thinking about on Shudder?
You're giving me a lot of watch, but it's good because a secret thing I do for all my guests, I send them off with a recommendation list. So I
Ooh,
will
hit
send
me.
you with
Yes.
one too. I think I gave Ed like 25. Usually I do 10, but he's like, we were talking about so much. I'm like, okay, I got to put this on the list. And I sent one
Please.
to Rob too because he was helping out. And I gave him some weird ones like May. Have you ever seen May?
Mm-mm.
Oh, so good. Anna Faris is in it, but it's about this girl who's very shy and she just wants
Oh,
a
I
friend.
remember I remember the cover of this.
Yes,
Oh, I
yes, okay.
remember. Yes, 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 yes.
So
But
I'll
I
send
haven't
you
seen
with the
that since it
list.
came out. But also Kill List immediately pops up on Shudder. Have you seen Kill List?
No, I don't think I have.
Woo!
Okay, I got to
Oh,
get Shudder again.
watch. It is a Ben Wheatley. Kill List is fucking great. It is upsetting and a lot of fun. I guess fun is. It depends on what you think is fun, I
I
guess.
mean, fun to us weird-minded horror fans. Yeah, I would think it would be fun.
Fun for us. And I think that you would enjoy it. There's lots of these. You know what it is too with Shudder that I've gone through. So, oh, stop motion. I love also anything that is stop motion animation. And if it's gonna squelch, I want to watch it.
Yeah,
I love anything. Oh
I
no,
watched one like
is
that
this?
a while ago, and I think Robert England had a voice in one of them. It came out for. I'll have to go back in my archives of reviews, but yeah, it was like a claymation like one. I'll have to remember what it
Yes,
was.
please. Oddity is on here as well. Oddity is also on Shudder. That was a movie that I went to go see in the movie theater. Knew I hadn't even seen the trailer. I just knew that it was a director that I enjoyed, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go see Oddity." Oddity really surprised me in how creepy it was. It's another little bite-size hour and a half movie that's on Shudder that you can kind of just swallow it up. And oh God, what did I just want to bring up? I don't know if this movie. Oh, the one movie. I don't know if this is on Shudder. but that I wanted to bring up because it just had the reboot that I refuse to see. And that is the movie Speak No Evil. And
Okay.
I heard, and it is correct, that they changed the ending when they made it an American movie. And I don't know why they changed the ending. I was talking to my mother about this. My mom has only seen the James McAvoy version, and I've only seen the original version. And so she goes, "So what happens?" And I explain the end of the original, and she goes, "Oh my God, that's so much more upsetting." I was like, "Yeah, that's why Speak No Evil is so fucking good. Why are you gonna neuter it? Make it that upsetting. Make it like, make that it. It is Speak No Evil. The idea of like, when asked, and this is not even spoiling anything, it's like, when asked, why did you do this? He said, because you let me. Think about the fascism that is running wild in our country right now. Think about like that movie. This is another one of those that Jeff literally kept pausing it and being like, if this ever happened to you, we would be gone. We would be fucking gone. If our kid ever left the fucking binky or whatever back at the house, we'll get a fucking new one. I don't care how much the kid screams. We will figure something out. We're not going back. And he just kept on. And I'm like, I hear you, baby. I hear you. You are never going to let this happen to us. And I appreciate that. But stop pausing the movie because it's very good. And Speak No Evil, very, very good. Very upsetting.
I feel like I watched it a while ago. I'll have to rewatch it because yeah, I vaguely remember the ending and remember like I love a good foreign horror movie for sure. So yeah, I'll
Oh,
have to give it a
yeah.
rewatch. I haven't watched the James McAvoy one. As much as I love him, probably won't watch it.
It's just why it's part of the reason why Speak No Evil is so why it sticks with me, why I think about it all the time. And it's just it breaks my brain. America! I mean, I'm yelling at about a lot of things, but I'd rather just be. I wish it was only the fact that the James McAvoy version was different. I wish that's why I was yelling about America.
Well, I remember Ed was telling me he's like him and Henry getting this talk about like why remake stuff. Don't remake anything. Do new and I'm the same way. Just leave it as
Do
it is.
something new.
And people are always like, well, we want the next generation to check it out. And I'm like, the next generation has more access to movies than I fucking did as a kid. I couldn't take a dump when I was a kid and watch a movie unless I did the whole like Ed TV shit where I had the hamper with the mirror and kind of
Oh
watched it
yeah, you
that
damn
way.
right. Oh
So
yeah.
they have it, they can find it. Use the Just Watch app. Stop remaking shit. They're remaking Idlehouse,
Stop.
and I'm so mad. So
Why?
mad.
Just stop. Make something new. This is the thing. Like, and that's why I love Shudder. Shudder's always making new fun shit. Another movie that I see is on Shudder that I think you would really like if you want to watch more foreign horror movies. Aterrados, which is Terrified, not Terrifier. Terrified is this Argentinian horror movie that is good. Don't watch the
Ooh, okay.
trailer. Don't watch anything about it. Just watch it. It has got. I am not. Oh, like don't get me wrong. I love me a good jump scare, but oftentimes I'm like, all right, got me with that jump scare. The jump scares in this, woo! I was like, okay. I watched it with someone that is not a huge horror movie fan, and halfway through he's like, "Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me?" And I was like, "Yeah, man. Oh, are you terrified, man?" And I live for it. I live to upset.
Nice. I'm so with jump scares. I was terrified to watch Sinister because that trailer scared the fuck out of me, and I got through it without even being scared with a jump scare. Then that fucking I can't remember his name. The god guy pops up at the end in front of the screen, and I'm like, you motherfuckers.
It's
But
like
I
Mr.
respect you for getting me.
Boogies. This is my problem. I just watched Sinister for the first time. I'd never seen it before, and it was supposedly the best horror movie of what is that, 2012?
Yeah,
And there's something about when they have like it's like Mr. Boom Boonsies in the like sometimes it loses me. And people are
yeah.
like, but the tapes in it, the tapes. I was like, oh yeah, you're right. The tapes of a family being murdered, yes, very upsetting. But when you have babopsies on it, it's just kind of sometimes takes me out of it.
Same. And at least it wasn't as bad as that Bye Bye Man movie because that was fucking bye bye to your attention and my joy of horror movies because of that.
Oh
No,
yes.
it
I
didn't
saw
really
Bye
help
Bye
me.
Man with Henry, and we just kept going through every time, every time the Bye Bye Man would show up.
Oh man,
We had fun.
I like it. I mean, I enjoy dumb horror movies, but there was one I had to review a while ago called Amityville Karen, and I couldn't get through.
Ooh.
I was so just like I had the worst headache. And no disrespect to people who made that. I mean, I commend you for putting your art out there, but I couldn't fucking do it. It was so hard.
I understand. I just looked it up because I couldn't remember the name of it. I watched JoJo Siwa was in the movie hashtag AmFad, All My Friends Are Dead, and I
What?
did watch it, and it's not even so bad that you should watch it. Like it's just I was just like, you know, somebody got paid to make this movie, and I
True.
say God bless it. As a creative, make the movie, but it's bad.
Yeah, I'll skip that one for sure.
You can
But
skip that one.
I know we're winding down because I don't want to take you away because you got your meeting at 2, so I don't want to take.
Yeah.
I think it's like
Or 2:30.
1:47.
Yeah, it's 2:30, yeah.
2:30. Okay, I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
worried
yeah.
about 2, so I think we're. I don't know how much we have left on your list, but I don't want to. You just let me know when we're like, hey, I gotta go. We'll do that. So yeah, I'm
I
gonna.
only have one more. I have one more movie,
Okay, okay, I
and
feel
that
confident.
is this one, which 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. Get fucked. No, the movie is high tension, and this Rotten
Oh,
Tomatoes can get
oh,
fucked.
you can get fucked by the the attack of the killer tomatoes. Get
It's
them
just
ass.
man, sometimes I scream about Rotten Tomatoes. I'm
Oh
just
God,
like,
I
this
do
is
too.
not fair. This is bullshit. The fact that Hook has such a low rating, it will forever fill me with rage. But High Tension, I mean, the movie starts with a dude cutting off somebody's head and then
Yeah.
fucking the neck. That's
Yes.
how it starts. How do you not remember this movie? You know what I mean?
Pulled an Ed Kemper basically in the
Ooh,
beginning.
oh yeah, oh yeah, right up top. And it is, man, the French know how to do fucked up horror
They
movies.
do.
They got a good corner on it. They don't have a lot of them, but the ones they do, yikes. And High Tension is one of them. I've only seen it once, and I was like, I'm good, but I remember it. And
Yeah.
I certainly remember what happens in the movie. And at the time, this movie came out in 2005, and I
Damn.
watched it when, oh God, 20 years ago. Oh my
I know.
God,
I feel
20
old.
years ago.
So
I watched it 20 years ago, and I still think about it. So, I mean, if that's not a review of a
yeah.
movie you want to see, I get it if that, like me saying the up top, like if you go, yeah, I'm okay. I get that. It's very upsetting. What is it?
Yeah.
Martyrs? Is that the other? I'm thinking. What are the
Yes.
other big French
Martyrs.
horror movies?
Martyrs for sure. It's funny that reminded me of there's a
Inside. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
Inside is another,
Yes.
and then Inside, Martyrs, and also, and I didn't include this because I was like, I didn't think that you would see this as a horror, but it has come up on the French horror movies, and that is the movie Climax. And have you seen the movie Climax? Because I this is another one of the movies that we watched when we wanted to do things that were more upsetting on the inside of the house than on the outside. And Climax is a Gaspar Noé, which you know the no, and you know it ain't gonna be easy, but it's beautifully done, and it's about a whole dance troupe just finished a run of their show, and this is their end of show party inside of the dance studio. And it's like with their families and stuff, and they do these like cool like dance moves, like it's Gaspar Noé, so he's doing cool shit. And then someone spikes all the drinks with a lot of acid. I assume it's acid, or maybe it's PCP. I'm not sure. And then they're locked in. And then it's about what happens because no one knows they've been dosed. So everyone thinks they're going crazy. And it is so upsetting.
Oh man, that
And
reminds me of
it's
that.
so good.
I never seen it. I will. I'm like, man, you keep mentioning these horror movies. Am I a real horror fan? I haven't seen most of these. I got to rip up my card, watch these movies. I'll tape it back up, and I'll be good. I will, and then I can
It's
continue
not
the
you, it's
podcast.
me. It's not you, it's me.
I've heard that before many times in my single life. Don't try that on me. Think I haven't heard that shit before? I have.
See, usually when I said it, I meant it. I mean, it was usually me. I'm a
Yeah.
fucking crazy person.
But you're eccentric crazy in a way that you've made
Thank
a
you.
career out of it and you've
Thank
made
you.
beautiful comedy. So, yes,
Thank you.
I told you I'm a fan, Jackie. I love what you
Many
do.
years of therapy. It's the therapy.
Maybe I should go to therapy more, but I'm afraid I'll lose my edge. That's why I don't go to therapy. I'm a little
That's
afraid.
good. Don't heal. Keep bleeding.
Yeah. No, you talking about that movie in a fact where you're like, yeah, it was okay. Maybe I'll watch it later. This we were talking about Substance earlier. Substance renewed my faith in Demi Moore being in a horror movie because there was a horror movie she was in forever ago. And maybe I was just in a bad mood when I watched it. Maybe I was just, I think it's called Half Light or something like that. And it was terrible. I remember thinking, this is the stupidest fucking movie I've ever seen. And I'm like, I don't think Demi Moore can do horror, but I have to rewatch it again. But
She
she,
changed you. It is called
she,
Half-Light.
yes, it was so bad, and nothing against her. She's amazing, but I'm just like, I don't think Demi Moore can do horror than she does
I think
Substance,
that
and I'm
this
like, I'm wrong.
I think this might have just been a very bad movie. This looks
Probably.
this looks like one of those ones that my mom would tell me to watch and be like, Mom, is this a good movie or is this because my mom's always watching horror, so she'll watch any horror. Always down. And I'm just like, is this worth my time, Mom?
Yeah. Oh man. So maybe yeah, it's probably one of those ones that's not great, but good on her for she better win the Oscar, or I will burn the
She
ground.
better win that fucking Oscar. She deserves it for that movie. That movie was must have been so insane. I've just heard snippets of what it was like to shoot that movie. That's so much work. She better fucking win. I hope she wins. She deserves it.
She does. I mean, she's been doing stuff for like 45 years, I think. She fucking yeah, if she hasn't gotten it by now, she needs it. I mean, no offense to Wicked. I fucking loved Wicked. I'm fucking popular because I seen that shit
Oh
all the
yeah,
time.
hell yeah.
Saw
Damn
the
straight.
stage show. Fucking loved that too.
Oh
But
yeah.
I'm rooting more as a horror fan. I'm rooting more for Demi. She's got to get it.
Yeah, and also, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna fucking say it. I'd rather Ariana win, even though they're not up for the same one, than Cynthia Erivo win, even though Cynthia Erivo did a very good job. But my problem is, I saw Wicked. I saw the original Broadway cast. It's so hard to love Wicked so much. And again, Cynthia Erivo killed it. Did such an amazing job. This would be, if she got it, it would be, she has the EGOT. Like, good for her. I
Nice.
say she deserve it. But Demi Moore has worked so hard to get to where she is. All right, just like overall, she deserves it. She's been ripped apart her entire life, and now she has to take care of her ailing ex-husband, who doesn't even really probably remember who she is. I feel for
Yeah.
her.
Breaks my heart seeing Bruce Willis go through that. I mean, so much. One of my first Bruce Willis experience, Look Who's Talking, when I was a kid. Fucking love it. Then Death Becomes Her. Come on.
Death
Love it.
becomes her. Death becomes her. Talk about a movie that I could watch every day. I
Ooh, same.
love Death Becomes Her.
I fucking love it too. But he's so and he's great. He's got a great comedic wit and stuff. I mean, yeah, it is sad. It breaks my heart to see that he's going through that. And but yeah, Demi Moore, 100%. I will boycott the Oscars if she doesn't win. I will spend every waking moment of my life making money to get her an Oscar made. That's how dedicated I am to her winning because she deserves
Hell
it.
yeah.
She's a fucking
Hell yeah.
she's a queen among queens.
She certainly is. She certainly is.
I love yeah, that movie. My wife that's another movie my wife was like, I have to see that. We gotta see that movie. It looks so good. And I almost went to the Alamo Draft House to do some stuff there where it premiered, but I didn't get a chance to because in my household we put the Disney first, so we had to go to Disney World around that time. Gotta do
Uh-huh.
it. So yeah, gotta wait till iTunes. Waited till iTunes, bought it, watched it. We fucking loved it. And it's yeah, it redefined body horror. And hasn't been done since like R.I.P. David Lynch. You know,
Yeah.
it's so good. I'll rant and rave about that.
I mean, it was definitely one of those ones too that I had seen because we go to the movies so often. I'd seen the trailer so many times that I was like, well, I hope the trailer's not just like giving away all the good parts of the movie. And then I saw it and I was like, it ain't. It ain't.
When
And
it's
I love
sad.
that because nothing pisses me off more than horror movies that show too much in the trailer. It's why I go out of my way to not watch horror movie trailers if I can muster it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I spent a lot of time, my husband and I spent a lot of time just watching horror movie trailers to see if we're into it, but like ones that give too much, like the second I see a trailer and I'm watching like, oh, I want to see this, I shut the trailer off and I put the movie on.
Same. Exact same way. It's sad that like most even horror movies in general, but also it's sad that these days let's show the best part of the movie. Let's show the whole movie in the trailer. Why the fuck am I paying money to go see it then?
Right? Between that or the musicals that don't show that it's a musical in the trailer. So again, what are we doing here, guys? Like what's happening with this?
Yeah, it's a sad world we live in for many reasons, but I mean that's a small, minuscule part of it. But yeah, it's
The
cinema.
trailers are the worst part, damn it.
Cinema is not what it used to be. I used to love to go to movie theaters. Now I hate it because of what I like to call parrot people, especially when I go see a comedy movie. They laugh and then they repeat the thing and then laugh again. That's why I call them parrot people because they're just repeat the funny
Ugh.
parts. Or some people, I'm sure you guys have this because you're in California. Everybody wants to be a star, so people use it as an open mic night sometimes. I'm like, go to a fucking open mic night. Just shut up. I want to see my fucking movie.
You know what's the crazy part is that I think that LA takes its movie watching too seriously. I think it's
Okay.
like actually in a good way for me because that would drive me fucking mad. But like we're going to all like in Burbank, there's like multiple AMC's all clustered in one, and we get almost every single movie that comes to a large theater will be there. And we're very, very fortunate that we have it. But the most we get are people like cheering. Like we went to go see Baby Girl, and everyone was
Nice.
like, yes, bitch, yes, yes, bitch. And it was also, but there were silent parts when people were very much paying attention during all the silent parts and rapped. But I kind of like that experience then. Then it's like, well, then it's fun.
Maybe it's just Utah because, and I blame COVID for this too, which I think
Oh,
you've mentioned this
certainly.
as well. Utah people, they think they can do whatever they want. Like there's so many cyber trucks around here, and I look at a cyber truck and I'm like, that's a car RoboCop would drive. But no, someone jumps out of it and it's somebody who screams at people at Starbucks because there's not enough foam in their coffee. And those are the people who ruin movies for me because they think they can do whatever they want. They want to be part of the experience. And you should know comedy shows, I'm sure hecklers will try to talk to you and stuff like that. Like, oh, I want to be part of the show. I'm part of the show. People love that. No, we hate it. So
We hate it.
I'm kind of interested in the fact that maybe I need to go see a movie in the theaters in California because I'm curious the aspect of taking it too serious. I'd like to see that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, usually there are people that cheer for the Nicole Kidman ad. Almost every single time I go to a movie, someone at least will go, yeah, whenever the Nicole Kidman ad plays. It's really crazy. Like the movie culture here is very weird,
Yeah.
but fun.
True. Yeah. Movie culture is weird here too. I've said this many times on the podcast, but I went to see Terrifier 2 or 3, sorry, at 10 in the morning. 5 people were there. People trickled out. I was the last one. I was the king of horror in my state, and I'm proud of that. But I can't see what's wrong with the
Why?
movie.
At this, by Terrifier 3, if you don't love Terrifier, why'd you go see it?
My thoughts exactly. Why are you there?
That's very Terrifier 3 was great. I don't know if you had listened to the episode. I did an episode of Side Stories with Henry and Eddie, and I said that
Yes.
I was like, I don't think I'll like Terrifier because I thought it was more torture porn. And it was described to me as it's like, no, 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 it's splatterpunk. And I was like, okay. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. I was wrong. And I'm free. I'm not above saying I was wrong. Terrifier's fucking awesome.
I
It
loved
is,
it.
again, not for everybody, but he is such a good because we've seen slasher, we've seen clown slasher. How do you make it different? You fucking hire David Howard Thornton to do it. That's how you make it
Yeah.
different. He's such an amazing performer.
Oh, absolutely. And you can
And
tell I
word
love
on the
it.
boys, sweetest guy.
Oh yeah. And I hear that. I've been wanting to get him on for a while, but because he's a busy man, I get it. I'll still pursue it, but yeah, I mean, clearly I love Terrifier. I got my Funkos behind there. I mean, I got my little action figure around here somewhere, but yeah, you guys doing that side story, one of the reasons that inspired me to get you guys on because I'm like, fuck, I need to have conversation. I want to talk. I'm talking to the podcast while I'm listening to it. I'm like, I gotta get them on. I gotta talk to them about this shit.
Hell
I love
yeah.
it.
Well, thank you for hitting us up because this is awesome and I love talking about horror movies.
I'm so glad that you were able to do it, and I'm so glad that like I said, They say never meet your heroes. LPN, you guys are heroically, comedically amazing. So the fact that you want to give
Thank
a
you.
small potatoes guy like me a chance to talk horror with you guys is, you're making my whole year, and it's only February.
Dude, thank you so much for wanting to talk to us. Like I said, really appreciate it, and this was a wonderful time.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna hit you up again, try to get you on. I told Ed we should just get a bunch of like do something fun for Halloween. I'm sure you guys are gonna do something, but yeah, we'll get you guys back on. And yeah, I
Hell
think
yeah.
we're running close to wrapping up. So like I said, I want to be respectful of your time. But Jackie, where can people follow you? Where can people check out all the amazing, great stuff that you do, which I
Ooh,
highly recommend they do.
thank you so much. You can come follow me on Instagram. I'm Jack That Worm. And also, almost every day out of the week over on the Last Podcast Network, you can hear my voice talking about something. There's Who's the Bitch. You can come listen to that. Or you could also write in. You can go to who'sthebitch.com and you can leave us a voicemail. You can send us a DM. You can send us an email. Just go to who'sthebitch.com. I also do a deep dive that is based on the romantasy Crescent City. It is more of a it's more of a mystery book than ACOTAR was, so it's not as much smut, but it still gets very smutty and it is very well written. So come hang out with me and Natalie Jean over there on the LPN Deep Dives, Crescent City. And then every week we've got Page 7 and Talking TV, and you can follow me on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. Check us out. It's not behind any kind of pay boards or nothing. But if you want to check out the extra stuff I do over on our Patreon, it's patreon.com/page7podcast. I do professionally audiobooks, but then I also do Jackie's Book Club on
Oh,
our
nice.
Patreon, where I read erotica and I essentially do a riff tracks version of erotica audiobooks where I say sidebar and then I'll talk about my own experiences or add my own flavor to it. And I drop those episodes every week. And we also drop episodes. We've been watching Buffy and I'm in season 4 of that. That's
Ooh,
over
nice.
on, again, patreon.com/page7podcast.
Super worth it. Now I've got to subscribe to that because that sounds amaze balls. So who
Hell yeah,
doesn't love
dude.
Buffy? I fucking great show, by the way.
Right? And we'd never, like, all three of us had never watched it before. So we kind of fell into it. Now we're in season 4. And I mean, you can take it from my cold dead hands.
Nice. And I'll definitely add the show notes to that stuff because I definitely want people to fall in love with the LPN people as much as I do. But Jackie, I can't thank you enough for being on the show. I'm truly honored that I had you on. And yeah, we're horror besties now. I feel strongly confident about saying that.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much for having me. This has been awesome.
No, thank you. I enjoyed it. Thanks so much.